welcome.
Hey everybody.
Thanks for joining us on the Revival Productions Twitch, YouTube, and Mixer channels on this afternoon. Today we are excited to bring you some never-before-seen single-player content from Overload. I am Ben Ammer, aka Bammer on Discord. With me, I've got Ed.
I'm also known as Helpful Tourist, probably the least most helpful mod that we have, but I try to engage the community. Big shout out to everybody that we're seeing from Discord. I'm recognizing a lot of names out there, and we are super excited to bring you this somewhat spoiler heavy episode. So we're definitely going to be revealing story, stuff that hasn't been seen before. There's a lot of stuff to get through today. We're trying to get through a bunch of missions. So if you don't want to see the story, if you don't want to hear the voices, turn us off now and come back and join us on Tuesday. We'll tell you all about what we're going to do, but Tuesday is super hype. We got lead designer coming on to answer questions. But until then, I think that everybody has been dying to see and to hear this. So I'm going to turn it over to Ben, and we're going to get into game right now.
Let's get right into it. We're rocking the green UI today for some of that nostalgic value. You might notice there's a play multiplayer on there, but we're not gonna mess around with that too much right now. We'll go right into Cronus Frontier. You'll also recognize one other level that you guys haven't seen in EA aside from level 1. But let's get right into it. I'll play on hotshot, because I'm an average pilot. And the first look at the story.
We're going to keep our voices down so you guys can enjoy it.
Oh, we got a duck.
Duck under the words.
Wait.
We put a lot of time into that green screen,
Yeah, we definitely, yeah.
Lothar's got his peg though. It's, I still don't like the color, but we do the best we can.
Hello. You are on board the MPSV Iberia, a multi-purpose supply vessel registered to Cronus Frontier, a subsidiary of Juno Offworld Automation. My name is Mara. I am a synthetic intelligence construct. Do you remember your name? Memory loss is a symptom of cryostasis revival. The effects are temporary. We are now in orbit around the moon of Ymir, approximately 22 million kilometers from Saturn. We received a distress signal from the mining facility here.
This is Ymir Outpost, Cronus Frontier. Autonomous operators are hostile. Repeat, auto-ops are hostile. We have 4 dead, 5 wounded, 2 missing. Please assist.
An autonomous operator is a worker robot. Their safety protocols should prevent them from causing harm. Something is wrong. In accordance with the Olympus Mons Convention, we must provide assistance. You will need to enter the mine, destroy all hostile operators, locate survivors, and secure the facility. A Godachi light gunship is docked on board this vessel. According to your personnel file, you are combat qualified to operate it. Your gunship has a universal pylon interface. With the UPI, you can equip new weapons acquired in the field. Good luck.
Alright, so there you go. There's the intro. We got Mara talking to us throughout the game, our synthetic intelligence, with great voice acting throughout the game.
So it's interesting about that voice acting. For a large portion of when we were personally working on this game, there was temporary voicing in there. And we got very used to the temporary voices. It was all done robotically. And as the voice being an AI sounded pretty good to us. And when the idea was laid out to us that it was all going to be voice acted, we originally thought that it was going to be a terrible idea in the QA department. But when it finally came through, the voice acting came through, we were super impressed with how good of a job everything turned out to be. There was a lot of hard work that went into the voice acting, and they actually sat down and Skyped some of the voice actors to give them direction for the various voice lines, and I think it turned out really, really well.
Yeah, evidently so. You'll also hear her mention autonomous operators, which is what we've been referring to, the auto-ops, or the robots as you guys just referred to them as. So that's the terminology we use in the game. Here's the Kodachi. This is the gunship that you'll be piloting throughout the game. I believe the playable teaser has this fly-through, but the EA has never had these screens in it before, so we'll go through these screens. We won't spend too much time on the screens. We gotta get in-game at some point. The voice actors are credited, but I'm not entirely sure.
There's a lot of them, so like naming them all just offhand would be kind of a big task.
Yeah. We got the Falcons to start off, and the Impulse. You'll recognize those two as the starting weapons. Missile pods, which have gone through some iterations.
It's interesting because I remember the day that the missile pods changed their appearance. We had gotten used to picking them up over and over again, and then all of a sudden, they used to have a shell around them, and all of a sudden, they were just sitting there kind of like a cluster, and I was like, whoa, is this supposed to be like this? And I actually asked Luke, I was like, Luke, is this? He's like, yeah, that's the way it's supposed to look. I was like, oh, it looks cool, man, it looks way better.
Yeah, I think it was to differentiate it from like debris that some of the robots would drop, or auto-ops would drop. First look at the spin around of the Goblin. First enemy we'll encounter in level 1. All of these are, mining class auto-ops that, conveniently have strong military weapons on them.
Well, I mean, there's reasoning behind most of them.
Yeah. If you read through these additional details, it gives a lot of lore on why these robots were developed for, these colonies, and why they're in use.
And some of them are modified.
Yeah, the variant, well, technically not the variant, but we generally have sort of pairs of auto-ops that sort of have different loadouts throughout. So the Ogre's the one with the flat cannons. Now we've got the Gorgon, which we will also encounter in this facility. Flat cannons confirmed.
No, I see how it is.
Alright. Yeah, study these briefing screens if you want to actually learn the names of the auto-ops. And then this is level 1. On this pilot, it looks like we've only gone through it once, but you'll get these stats for each level.
So something that's interesting about this level is that it has an atypical objective. Mm-hmm. Most of the other levels later on have an objective of get to the reactor, destroy the reactor, because that's that fits with, now that we've revealed what's going on in the story, it fits with what you're supposed to be doing. But this level, you're not at that point yet.
Yeah.
You are still investigating.
We'll probably roll into level 2, which is the first level in the early access, but we'll have the story elements in, so we hope it'll be sort of a new experience for all of you guys who have played the early access, and those who haven't, you get a deeper, in-depth look into the story.
And Lothar's pointing out that the screen would look better if they had color models for the bots. They actually used to have color models, but I think it looks better all monochromatic. It looks like a mission briefing that you would see on a screen.
I am
Honestly,
now
it fits.
receiving transmissions from the moons of Tarvos and Sol.
First secret in the game. Let's go.
This is Tarvus. Our operators are malfunctioning. 2 people are dead, several injured, 3 missing. Skull, yeah. Auto-op malfunction is confirmed. We've lost 5. 3 missing. We're barricaded in the surveyor station.
I will attempt to contact the other Cronus Frontier facilities.
Alright, so we just got transmissions from 2 other moons. Those are also the early access moons that you guys would have already experienced. You got that. So these comm logs that you guys have seen in early access.
Evelyn Buhari, geologist. Our team is on Ymir to upgrade defenses and inspect
They're all
mines.
fully voiced, and even though a lot of them are quite short, there's several to collect in each level, and they lay out they really add depth to the story. I was gonna say they lay out a side story, but that's not true. It's more like adding depth to the story itself. And I'm gonna try and keep you guys entertained here because Ben is not playing on training. He's playing on hot shots. There's a real risk that he could die.
Yeah, I'll be focusing on the game a little bit more than I usually do when I'm just testing. You saw I had shot a switch here. Yes, actually, Shroud, we can listen to the voice lines after, either in the post-game screen, or I guess I can show you right now. If we go to the view stats screen, right here, we got it. You can click on it to
Evelyn
listen to it
Buhari,
again.
geologist. Our team is on Ymir to upgrade defenses and inspect the mines.
So there you go.
Yeah, a lot of thought actually went into tons of the little elements of this game, which is actually one of the reasons it's a lot of fun to test. But everything is geared towards trying to remove the little annoyances and things like being able to play the logs, view your damage from specific robots and what you dealt to them. All just really nice and, you know, probably plays heavily on everybody's urge to just get into the details, get into the game, get into the universe.
So we got the level 1 security key here. And as you can see, there's like a ton of pickups in this level. Just going straight to the security key, you'd miss a whole lot. This is a cryotube room, but this facility actually got attacked before this room was complete. You can see not all of the chairs are in, which we'll learn about a little bit more throughout picking up these
And
logs.
tells right
Wants
zero
the
that
base
is the
fortified
boost bar.
against a possible attack.
It has
We're making the
a
modifications
revision
now.
sense. I think you guys have seen it before. It used to say boost,
Yeah.
but now
It's an
it just
icon.
is a little icon. Instead, we think it's a little bit more streamlined, a little bit slicker. And it, like, honestly, it communicates what it does the first time you use it, so it's pretty well implemented.
So here we go.
I have retrieved
The
a
first
message
dive
from
down.
CEO Gabriel Cantor. It was sent 22 days ago.
To all Cronus
I remember the
Frontier
first day that the
employees,
lava went
an
in.
attack on this colony
It used to
is
be
imminent,
very flat
and we
and
must take immediate action to
kind
fortify
of
all
like
facilities.
unitonal, but now
Every
it has
base,
highlights
no
along
matter
the
how
edges,
small,
it has
must
little
be
things floating
prepared, or
above it.
everything we've built
It
out
looks
here
really cool.
will be
And
taken from us.
something you find out very quickly as a tester is if you shoot the lava and you're close to it, it actually does splash damage to you. So I think the first day that I worked here, I killed myself, probably as the first action, by shooting the
We
lava
brought over
just
some
because I
Gorgons from
was
Phoebe.
looking around
Sandor
at it.
says they're overkill, but if Cantor tells you to do something, you do it.
So we just heard comm logs from CEO Gabriel Cantor, which you may recognize from our reveal for, let's see, launch date trailer.
Also, I think in our Discord channel we have one title as the assistant of Gabriel Cantor. And that's just a shout out to the community person that set up our Discord for us originally before we managed to take it over. So we're gonna give him that little title just kind of forever as a thank you, because that really helped us.
So you can see the Cyclone wasn't briefed in the starting because it was actually a secret in the level. There's a handful of these weapons that you'll be able to get a level or two earlier than you may expect. So always be keeping an eye out for these secrets. I mean, it may go without saying. Because there is speedrunning capabilities of the game, but if you really want to get everything,
The team is eager
lot
to
of
finish up
exploration.
and get back
There is a
to
lot of
Phoebe.
exploration.
Ymir is built for
And
machines,
I've
not
seen just
long-term
really
human
vastly different
habitation.
times across the
Saturn
levels,
looks
because
like a
we've had
star
some
from here.
playtesters come in to check it out. The subtitle text is localized. There in all of our supported languages, it is translated to the absolute best of our abilities, which, as we understand it, is pretty well.
the audio is going to be in English, but yeah, it will be localized subtitles.
We're experiencing a malfunction of our autonomous operators. They attacked Halloran. We're sealing off the control room.
So you'll see a trend of most of these comm logs where the person speaking was sent to one of these moons to, you know, do a specific task, in this case to upgrade defenses here. And generally the trend is these people realize these auto-ops have turned hostile and start attacking humans. And we sort of get to hear their struggle just, slightly too late every time. We've got an energy center here. I have over 100 energy, so it's not going to do anything right now. But I have noticed a lot of streamers sort of coming up to these and being like, alright, what does this do? If you run below 100 energy, you can always go back there and fill it up as many times as you need.
And as for localization after, it's still all just super in the air. So we're not going to give anything definitive right now. We'll just say that we're not sure. There's a lot that we'd like to do afterwards, but it all just depends on the success of the game and the commitment of everybody afterwards.
Yeah.
I like how he thinks that he's worried for taking just a tiny bit of damage, but if you look, his armor is actually still just super full across there.
Ha.
Life support and comms are failing. The cryo chamber is under construction, so the cryo tubes haven't been installed. The shuttle's our only chance.
Reactor interference is affecting the teleporter. I cannot safely extract you. Proceed toward the surface. I need to acquire a clear lock on your position.
Something else that's interesting about this level is Ben collected the second key, and the door is right in front of him. But when he goes through it, it actually loops back to the beginning. And it's something that it is a little off-putting originally, because you're not sure if this is the same cave that you've been in before, and maybe you have to pull up your map or whatever. But given the objective, it actually makes a lot of sense, because your objective is to kill all of the auto-ops that are in this level, and it gives another avenue for you to get back to any that you might have missed, or let any that missed you come and catch up with you. He's going to take a sneaky way out.
Take the secret here, seeing as there's one more comm log here.
The operator's cut us off. We can't reach the shuttle. We're sending a distress signal, but I think we're too late.
We also have secret monitors with the Kickstarter backers, actually, that got to that level.
Well, Lothar, the objective isn't to go through the door at all. You don't have to use that door. All you have to do actually is get close to the surface. And it's pretty generous with how close to the surface you have to be. There are several places in the level that you can go before the teleport kicks in.
Yeah, so I did take a slightly different path there. That is the more secret way to get out of the level. You can see also we've added a level time, which wasn't in early access, but I think we have it in the playable teaser right now. Oh, I missed a secret.
You did miss a secret. And I don't know which one it was offhand because I wasn't paying too close attention.
Got all the upgrade points though, so those will be helpful for that. Again, you can go to the view stats from here as well, and then look back at the comm logs that you've got. Sometimes it's also like kind of weird to get a feel for the timeline as you're just playing through them. You can sort of see like how many days have passed since all of these events have occurred. Yeah. Let's hop right into level 2. This is one you early access guys will be familiar with. We get another fly through of Tarvos, which is the moon.
It's one of the outer moons.
We are in position above the moon of Tarvos, 18 million kilometers from Saturn. I have received a transmission from Juno Off-World Automation Headquarters in the asteroid belt.
Iberia, this is Agnes Mori, Chief Operations Officer, Juno Off-World. Be advised, on 8/27, we received the following message from Cronus Frontier.
Cantor here. Listen carefully. I have uploaded a virus to the Juno Off-World network. The virus will remain dormant only if the following condition is met. Juno is to have no further contact with Cronus Frontier. No comms, no ships, nothing. Not from Juno, not from anyone. Your meddling in my work ends here. This is your final warning.
We have completed a thorough analysis of the Juno Off-World network and isolated all potential threats. In response to Cantor's message and the massacre at Ymir, The board of directors has terminated the Cronus Frontier project. Your orders are to overload the main reactors of all facilities in the colony.
We should also rescue any survivors in emergency cryotubes. We can use the Iberia's teleporter to extract them. The teleporter has limited range and accuracy. To ensure a safe extraction, you must confirm the precise location of each survivor. When a reactor overloads, it generates a powerful and unstable EM field. For this reason, I cannot extract you with the teleporter. You must locate the emergency bulkhead and exit the facility before it self-destructs. The extraction port should be far enough from the reactor to ensure a safe escape. Good luck.
So there you go, a little intro to why we're going through these facilities and overloading these reactors. Juno is the parent company of the Cronus Frontier company as well.
It's a mining project.
Yeah. So these all take place on Saturn's moons. These are the outer moons. You'll notice level 7 in the early access branch is on Titan, which is one of the more identifiable moons that
But
you guys may recognize.
They're all actually moons.
Yeah.
And what's interesting about them is if you look at the numbers for the moons, the numbers aren't right. So there's an implication that in the future we'll know of more moons, which is actually possible and fairly true.
That's probably a reasonable assumption.
But yeah, it explains why we're picking up cryotubes, why after you destroy the reactor you have to actually flee. You can't just get teleported out like we did in the first level. And we get this grand reveal now of a new weapon, even though Ben picked it up earlier in the last level because he is a sneaky guy and knew exactly where to fly to.
You find some things out when you achievement test to find all secrets. We also are introduced to the hunters in this level.
That's probably my favorite secondary in this game. I know there are some really cool ones and some super secret ones, but that one is just super reliable. The upgrade for it is just a lot of fun when you're firing the extra, and man, it just feels dirty in multiplayer. It just feels dirty.
Well, only if you're bad at aiming. And we got everyone's favorite, the Scorpion. You could see some mining implications with this bot, right?
Honestly, this one, I think more than any, is the one that, in my mind, I could sell myself that it was made for mining. The one that's packing rockets, I don't know, man. Tritons, I don't know, man.
They do explain, though, that some of them are for military, just to sort of offset the cost of operating this mining facility,
And now we get to spend our precious upgrade points, so let's see what choices Ben's gonna go with.
What choice will I go with? I kind of want to go with the Cyclone, but then I won't have enough for both the accessory energy, which is what I usually go for.
It says upgrade the missile pods.
Missile pods.
I do like upgrading the missile pods to that self-dragging.
I'll get the Cyclone next time, but I really want to get this too. This is like my go-to first one. It's really cheap, and it makes your boost.
Oh, too late,
go
Cirrus.
forever.
It's
too late. I'm doing it. This is my play style. But this is great too because it lets you play to your own play style. So there's plenty of upgrades here and plenty of upgrade points that you'll be getting throughout all of the levels.
And the super upgrades are absolutely awesome.
Oh yeah, you definitely don't want to sleep on them. And each weapon has two super upgrades that also benefit different play styles.
It's like a branch, a choice in your endeavor. What's really nice about it is when you play through the single player campaign and pick up all these upgrades and learn what all the super upgrades do, when you switch into into challenge mode, those upgrades carry over. So you can figure out what upgrades you like from the single player campaign and just go right into challenge mode and know exactly what you want your setup to be for when you get those super upgrades during the matches.
Yep. So now the upgrade we got for the missile pod is that it tracks, so it behaves a little bit like the Hunter. The Hunter, I believe, still has better tracking, even with the upgraded missile pods. But just shifting the path a little bit. And here you guys go. Tarvos, you may recognize this from early access. We beat it a handful of times,
Oh yeah, we can highlight the localization. Mike just pointed out very kindly that we can flip through the various languages and just show you guys what
Can we
everything
in
is.
this build?
Yeah, shifts.
Oh, we may not be able to. This
We
might
can
not
do
be
it from the main menu.
We can
definitely do it from the main menu. We don't have the access to the debug stuff, which sometimes is a little weird for us, but we do have access via the menu.
So, yeah, so the options right here. We got
German,
in right now. We got Spanish, we got
French,
French,
and
we got
Russian.
Russian, which I don't know anything about it.
My
You know what? Let's go.
Russian language skills are a little bit lacking.
I'm gonna go with Spanish because I took like 2 years in high school and I almost understand it. We'll go through a little bit and then we can switch back to English.
It's always interesting as a tester when you're doing language testing, because I don't think any of us speak any of the languages that we have to test.
No.
But you really have to memorize the menu options in that case, as you have to navigate everything, which is fine because we're in these menus every freaking day.
Yeah, you start
But
remembering
if you
where
don't
things
remember
go.
where those options are, it can be a bit of an adventure trying to get back to something.
And we did have somebody in Discord the other day, I'm sorry I don't remember the name right now, but pointed out one of the translations in German was off, which we definitely appreciate. If you guys do speak these languages and you want to point it out to us, just check in the EA build even with it would be great.
Oh man, our stream's gone Spanish.
So here we
are
go.
no longer receiving live communications from the outer moons. All bases are now transmitting automated distress signals.
Attention, attention, attention. This is an automated emergency broadcast from Skull Outpost, Cronus Frontier. Persons at this facility are in need of assistance. Please notify the nearest Juno Off-World Automation facility or vessel. In accordance with the Olympus Mons Convention of 2076, the master of any spacefaring vessel, insofar as he or she can do so without endangering ship, crew, or passengers, is required to proceed with all possible speed to the rescue of persons in distress if informed of their need of assistance. This message will repeat in 60 seconds.
The bases on Phoebe are broadcasting similar messages.
So as Lothar pointed out, it is all still voiced in English. It's just localized or translated in the text. We would have to record separate audio lines for every single language, and that is a lot of stuff. Big games usually don't even do that, and we are not what I would consider to be a typical large-scale game.
Not exactly. So
I have received no
see
response.
Nightmare Cat asking about the skybox.
This is the first reveal, too, of the faces on cryopods. In all of the previous builds you guys have, the cryopods don't have faces, and the fun fact about these is that these are real people. Some are backers, some are developers, and some are just friends of ours that came in and were willing to donate their face on a moment's notice. And the identities of them used to be in earlier builds the actual people that went with them, but we decided to change it up and give everybody slightly more interesting and applicable names. So the initials will stay the same as the people that have their face on there, but their actual names have been jumbled up a little bit. And it's just a little bit of interest, a little
Tidbit,
as it were, something out there for the people that backed us, and something to show who made this game 20 years from now.
So some of these logs are actually inside of AutoOps, which some of you might have noticed.
Auto-ops are in good working
So
order.
it's worth destroying them all.
Exploration has
What's
located
interesting
minerals
is
Geisler
the
needs
first time
for
that
work
we did
at
this
Titan Collider.
with the logs in bots, it wasn't clear necessarily if it was the same bot every time or if it was just a random bot, but thankfully it's the same bot every time. So if you're looking for the log and you can't find it and you need help and you turn to a guide, it will be the same bot in the same location every time.
Yeah, it makes
We
writing a
brought in
walkthrough a little bit
scorpions to
easier.
Unless
reinforce
the bots have
goblins and
all
ogres
wandered
here.
around and mingled
They're
a bit,
ideally
but it's
suited
generally,
for density
in that
and
spot, in
composition
that level.
of this moon.
Oh, and that was the comm logs that we've been hearing in this moon is Max Volkov, which you may recognize from the first level, where they were sending out a distress signal.
Oh, and look at how suspicious he already knows about it. We've played this level a lot, so it is not fair that he knows that the ambushes are coming.
I've definitely seen a handful of streamers collect this and then just immediately get shot and not know what's going on, but you gotta look out for these ambushes.
I actually like the introduction of this ambush because you're all by yourself with that one robot. In later levels, when you get ambushed, you aren't necessarily all by yourself, and it isn't necessarily just one robot. So this is the first introduction as an ambush, and it's like, hey, this is something that can happen that you need to be aware of. It's only one robot.
Cronus Frontier will ask a great deal of you in the days and months ahead.
This is a great voice.
We are not soldiers or killers. We are scientists, inventors, explorers. And yet, we will do whatever it takes to protect this colony and everything we've built here together. Not all of you are with us. Some of you have chosen to side with our enemies. Driven by greed, ambition, fear. I know who you are, and I know what you've done. Don't think for a moment you'll get out of this alive.
The message ends here. This is not reassuring.
Sibley's nervous. He thinks Contour's out to get him for that report he sent back to Juno off. If you want to be a team player, you got to keep your mouth shut.
So, if you notice too, I picked up one of those comm logs in the middle of that voice line too, and it just queues it up. So you're never gonna miss anything by picking up a comm log while something else is playing. In earlier iterations, there was weirdness going on with that, which
I think that the way that they went with it now actually makes the most sense. It can get a little hectic if you pick up like one or two in a row where they're all, it plays one right after the other, but it identifies it on the screen, and if you missed everything, you can still go back and listen to them one at a time at your own leisure. Now, coming up is something that we talked about before stream, whether or not we should do it. You can see that Ben's already going through the sequence if you've played through the demo before, or the early access, I should say. It opens this is a portal, this is a big reveal, it's a secret level, but we decided that we're gonna skip it. We wanted to leave something in there for you guys to find yourselves and something to look forward to. So even though we're skipping a bunch of stuff, or we're showing a bunch of stuff, we're just gonna skip this one item and leave a little bit of suspense for you guys. So it's something to check it on your own.
Learn that lesson
Or,
the hard way.
spoil day one when it releases by watching it on Twitch. That's up to you.
there you go. So you'll notice I'm destroying all of the monitors, which is something I hold dear to my heart because I had to test the achievement to destroy all of them.
Sibley and Lennox
And there
were at
is
the
an
engineering
achievement for
level when
destroying
the
every
operators
monitor in
attacked.
the game, and we
No
did
warning
check,
or
and
nothing.
it totally does work.
Lennox
even though
got
it
his
takes
head
so
torn
long.
clean off.
Alright, so we get a little more grim there, sort of indications that these auto-ops are just brutally murdering these humans.
And I like how Cantor talks about how we're scientists, we're researchers, he's giving the implication that he's non-violent, and then all of a sudden he switches gears and he's like, but if you mess with my agenda, I will kill you in your sleep. And you're like, whoa, that escalated. Here we are.
Yeah, Cantor is a great character. I love this story, actually.
And I'm kind of sad that we're not going to get too in depth with him in this this reveal, but he goes to some interesting places as the story reveals.
Yeah.
I really like this character, you're right.
But yeah, not to give too much away.
I think Ben's doing his job here, making sure that he picks up as many upgrade points as he can, so we can
Get our Cyclone up.
Dachi gunship. Awesome. Here's the second ambush. This one a little bit more, a little more intense than the last one, but he's still doing a good job.
So I'm kind of making this look easy on Hotshot anyway. I mean, not to
It
pat my
helps
own back, but
that you know where every one of the auto ops is beforehand.
yeah, when I first started working here back in, it was November, I guess, actually. Yeah. I tried this level on Hotshot and died in that level 2 security key room.
My first day, I remember a Giant who everybody from Discord will recognize.
Yeah, we're website.
Yep. He's like, just here's outpost, have at it or whatever. And I tried to beat it on insane,
Life support's
and
failing, but
I
they
spent
can't get
all
to
day
the
trying
cryo
to beat
tubes.
it on insane, and
Operators
absolutely
are
could not
blocking
do
the
it.
access corridor. What the hell is Quan?
So the cool thing too here, you'll notice we're in a cave, so these voice lines have very echoey effects. You'll notice that too if Mara was talking to us in here. So it's a cool little thing to point out since you guys haven't heard really voice lines yet. Just another thing.
One more little. I actually like it. I remember when the echo was added in, because it wasn't always in. It was flat voice for a while, but they added ambient voice adjustments. And of course, got to pick up the super missiles, taking us beyond our capacity for Falcons, so that we can get in there and absolutely shred the reactor.
We'll see. And the drill.
Pick up the secret weapon, which is a favorite in multiplayer right now.
Yeah, definitely. Hit scan weapons are pretty nice. I know Lotharbot and I have had discussions on multiplayer. Still say, sit tight. We'll see how everything feels. We're optimistic about how we're gonna get the feelings.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of emphasis on keeping things fair, particularly across the weapon sets themselves. Hunters track people. Luke has already adjusted the damage on them more than one time to make sure that they're not just an overpowered white item that you pick up and one-shot people with.
There is not really an indication beyond the bar below the icons that you have more than max capacity. There's a but if you do see the icon all the way full, you'll know that only a super missile is gonna be able to get you beyond that. We'll just go ahead and real quickly, after taking care of the auto ops, destroy this generator right here.
The time bomb is right now in multiplayer. It just functions slightly different than the way that you would think. It didn't initially when we were first testing multiplayer. You fired the time bomb, it did all the same stuff that it does in single player, and it was I don't want to say it was overpowered because it slowed everybody down, but it tended to be a little bit annoying.
Yeah, so weapons will be specifically balanced for multiplayer, which ideally with your guys' help we'll get some even more good data on all of it. You can see we've got the cryo tubes recovered. Did I get all the secrets? I didn't get all the secrets in this one.
Didn't get all the secrets.
Got all the upgrade points though, so that's good. And then we got the level time. You can again go to view stats, get to see all of that. We can see all of these guys, all of their roles in the colony, and then what kind of condition they're in. Some of them are better off than a few, but they're all rescued at least. And then again, we can go through here, check on what Max Volkov's been up to here on Tarvos.
I know, he's too good. It's not fair that he had that much armor at the end of it. We should make him play at another level higher.
On like insane or something.
Crank it up there.
Well, I want to actually get to show you guys things.
We
and
don't want to die. Having to restart the level is not an ideal situation, but we thought it would be nice to just not go through on trainee like a farm fest for us personally.
Can we reread prior levels logs? I don't think we can, but that's a consideration. If you... Yeah, no, we can't right now. That is a consideration, though. We're still, a month out of submission, so any suggestions are still nice.
No one will have a heart attack if we change a bunch of things right now, right?
Let's go ahead and go to level 3. It looks like we got time for at least one more single player, then we'll probably jump into challenge mode and try to answer as many questions as we can.
We are in position above the moon of Skull, 16 million kilometers from Saturn. So far, I've found no connection between the operator attack and Cantor's threat against Juno Offworld. The cause of their hostile behavior is unknown. I have received a transmission from Titan, but communications are impaired. The Iberia systems are all functioning normally. I am unable to isolate the cause of the interference. I have completed a scan of the Skull Mining Facility. The Kraken-class security operator is in service here. The Kraken is a more formidable unit than the Gorgon. Its presence here is a departure from standard operating procedure.
So, they were asking for a look at the skybox. I don't think there actually is a skybox.
No, so the reason why that is because since you're inside of these mining facilities, you're not going to be able to see outside. I think the only one where it would have really made sense would have been on Ymir, where you first go through the level 1 security door. But the rest of these are going to be sort of views inside the caves of these mining facilities. So that's why you may not see some of these skyboxes, but or at least that's the, you know.
And yeah, as for
reasoning.
being able to view the logs at a later time, we'll pass it on. We'll see what everybody has to say. It's actually a pretty good idea, but we can't promise anything.
Mike's in the chat.
Mike is in here.
Addressing these. And here we got the Kraken, which is, as you may notice, sort of the alternate version of the Gorgon. This is, let's see, I believe this one mentions, maybe not. It does say that it was because of excess Gorgon units.
Oh, and looking through the grates, some of the people were pointing out that there are grates in the various areas. If you look out of the grates, you're just going to see various levels of lighting. It's just going to look like, you know, oh, we're facing the sun right now, or we aren't. Or, you know, maybe we're on the interior of a cave where this mining facility looks out to that interior, but it's on the inside. So the lighting is going to be there, but it isn't going to look out to, like, the universe like you would think. These are mining facilities. Most of them are underground, so.
Yeah. And we can see that some of these do have roles that aren't mining, so this one is heavy security, which makes some sense since it does have impulse cannons, which aren't really mining the weapons.
Oh man.
Alright, we'll go ahead and get the Cyclone this time.
3 left over.
3 left over. We can do item duration. This will probably be the last level we're showing off, so might as well max
Might as
out
well
as much.
spend them all. No points left.
There will be a lockdown room in
And I don't know if
here,
you
which-
guys noticed, but there is an auto upgrade option at the bottom. I don't remember when that went in. I don't know if it was always there. I can't. My memory is absolutely garbage. But you can just click the auto upgrade, and it makes fairly reasonable decisions for you if you don't want to put too much thought into it, or if you're just zipping through and don't really care what you're upgrading. If you're trying to do it quickly. There's also an option to skip the upgrade, so you can save the points up if you are really looking forward to something big or really love a specific weapon and want to dump all of your points into that, but don't have enough at the time.
Randomly. Yeah. Alright, so we did play through 2 and 3 on Tuesday as well, but since this is the story reveal trailer, stream rather, we'll be trying to collect all those logs.
The art for all of these preview screens is really phenomenal. It used to just be placeholder. In fact, for the majority of the time that we worked here, it was placeholder, but it went in just a couple of weeks ago, and Victor put it in, I think, and he did a really good job on all these screenshots. They really get the essence of the level, and they look sharp. I am going to take some of them and put them as backgrounds on my computer here at work, so.
Yeah. Oh, we got, yeah.
We continue to
Tempo
receive
beams.
automated distress signals from the basis on Phoebe.
A little sneaky.
Attention.
I just kind of know what
Attention.
these are. I should
Not fair-
probably
Not fair to
explain
just
it.
grab the secrets and not say
This
anything.
is an automated emergency broadcast from Phoebe Refinery.
You guys can see the
Cronus
tracking of
Frontier.
the upgraded missile pods.
Persons at this facility are in
They
need
bend
of
to the
assistance.
to the
Please
blocks.
notify the nearest Juno Off-World Automation
supposed to follow
facility
me up
or
here.
vessel.
Actually, I guess it can.
Phoebe Complex is broadcasting a distress signal as well.
So I think I haven't approached a security door that was locked until now. So here we can see one that is locked. The one is red, so we know that we need the level 1 security clearance to get through there.
What's interesting about the keys is it doesn't matter what key you pick up. It's the number of keys you need to get through that door. You can pick them up in different orders if the level permits it. And most of them don't. You have to go through in a fairly linear fashion. But there are, I think, a couple of levels where you can pick up the keys in a different order.
Yeah.
and then you can go through the applicable doors. So there isn't a key to door number 1. There's just 1 key, 2 keys, 3 keys to get through doors that require 1, 2, and 3 keys.
Yeah, some of the later levels. Actually, level 4 in early access right now. Well, that's the 3rd level in early access, but you'll see the 4 next to it.
Shroud's right.
Yeah, that you can do a non-linear path. Hey. We're getting a flood of auto ops here.
What could it be from? Oh, suspicious.
Took a very large chunk of damage there.
That's okay. You got
Good
plenty
thing I
of-
got upgraded Cyclone
And most of the
That's-
auto fabricators drop armor when you destroy them. They drop usually 1 energy and 1 armor, so
Yeah,
you
so-
can almost always count on it.
In a pinch, you definitely want to get those destroyed.
I mean, you always want to get them destroyed. Nobody
that's
wants
true.
just endless auto ops swarming at them.
But in a pinch.
There are shielded ones that
Yeah. Oh yeah.
make things more interesting.
We'll run into some shielded ones. And here's some ammo pickups. And wonder where that goes to. I know where it goes to.
James Lynch, personal log, 814. We're here on Skull to install the cryostasis tubes and implement defensive measures, per Cantor's directive.
They are actually endless. You can sit there all day long and kill auto ops coming out of a fabricator. I've done it for 25 minutes at one to try and get my life, because on higher difficulties, the armor you get is much lower, and if you need to finish the level, you can sit there and kill them as they come out and hope for armor drops.
So here's the lit up one right now. If it's like this brighter white color, you'll know it's unlocked, as opposed to the red that we had seen earlier.
And there are choices. There is a branch that Ben just made a different choice at moments ago, where you can go a different route. But what I like about the way that this game is set up is if you wander enough, you generally tend to make it through the level, even without the help of the hologuide. The hologuide is helpful. It's always there if you absolutely need it, or if you prefer just following the guide.
We could show off the auto map. I haven't done that yet, actually, on this stream. For those of you who hadn't joined us for Tuesday's stream, this is our auto map, so you get to see everything where you've been. We actually started all the way up there. We get a nice view of energy centers that are highlighted, and I believe last time we didn't highlight it, but we can see there's the cryo tubes over there. We don't see where it's connected to yet, but we know that they exist in this level, and they're sort of over there, so potentially one of these doors would be useful to go to if you wanted to do that. We also have the keys highlighted right here, and if you look at the map, you can see there looks like there's a secret area down here, so that's something to explore as well.
Something that's interesting about secrets, and I don't know if we've talked about it in any of the streams, you can find them on the map if you're clever, because of the way that the walls display for secret rooms. You know that there's a secret that's going to be there if you find a room that has walls on all sides, but you can't access it.
Let me try doing this little trick again. There is an auto-op fabricator down here. Haha!
It is intentional. It's one more sneaky way to try to find things. And Ben's picked up the reflex now, which is probably one of the most hilariously fun things in multiplayer right now.
Oh yeah.
There was a day in multiplayer when you died, you still fired your weapons as you were going through your death spiral.
I worked
And
with
if
Cantor
you had the
from the
reflex
beginning.
equipped,
Back
it
when
was
Juno
a dangerous
Off-World
thing
was
because
nothing
you
but a
would be
scrappy
fighting
little
somebody, you
startup.
destroy them, and they would be
Swore I'd
spiraling
follow
and
that
firing all
bastard
at the
to the
same
edge of the
time. You would
universe.
want to get in there to collect
That's exactly
the armor
what I did.
and the weapons that they dropped, but it was a dangerous prospect with reflex bullets going all over the place. Thankfully, that's fixed now. It's a little bit kinder, but this weapon is a lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
And the upgrade for it is pretty interesting too, as it helps guide reflex or reflected shots more towards your enemies.
So we'll see. There's a cryo chamber right here, but
You know, you're pointing this out because it's locked. I actually had to get into this cryo chamber to look at the people, and it took me an irrationally long amount of time. I shot all of the walls because I know I'm looking for stupid secrets.
Yeah.
but I could not get in there, and my problem was I just didn't go one tile far enough back. Like, I looked all at the close ones, I didn't go, and when you made it in this run, you just drove past it. And
Yeah,
so
so
that reflex really helps at finding secrets that you're not
if
even
you
really.
just shoot around the walls, hey,
You'll
maybe
find
one
them
of them will.
eventually.
Look at that! I already shot the switch in there just from firing the reflex randomly, but. So here we go. Oh, and I don't know if we mentioned in level 2, but once we get all of these cryopods, we get an upgrade point.
A bonus upgrade point. And that's important because it's not always super easy to get all of the cryopod people, right?
Cronus Frontier
There's
is
a
not
couple levels that
economically
have
viable.
multiple.
That's the hard truth no one
cryo
wants to
chambers.
accept. We're simply too far away from the Earth-Mars Belt Triangle.
So here we get a little hint of James Lynch saying, "Hey, why does Cronus Frontier even exist? Like, it doesn't seem like this is a good idea to have mining facilities
In
so
the middle
far
of
away.
nowhere. It's not profitable.
When I shared my concerns with Cantor, he reassigned me to Phoebe. One day I'm director of
It's a
Titan
viable
Collider,
solution.
the next I'm kicked to the outer moons.
I'm still not entirely sure if. So the implication is that he was obviously reassigned because, he was complaining. But I think Cantor says some other stuff that implies that he needed him to be reassigned anyway. So I'm not really sure if it was all like a complaint level thing.
Yeah, could have been a few of them. Cantor does have a lot of strange reasonings behind some of his decisions. Some of them revenge based, and some of them not so much. You guys will find out more as you guys
Ever
play.
since that incident with the Enceladus crew, Cantor's been acting strange. He wants a Kraken security detail. Here, at Skull. Who's going to attack Skull? There's nobody
It's
out
just a
here
concern for security.
except us.
So you'll hear about this incident too on Enceladus, and this comes up a few more times throughout the game. I won't spoil anything beyond that, but it's a cool little thing that you'll learn about. Well, cool is perhaps not the word. Interesting, perhaps. So this level, if you notice, this is actually where we were earlier when I chose to continue on forward instead of turning right here. A lot of these levels will have some loops in them, so definitely, thinking about where you've been and opening this map can definitely help. We can set markers too with this, which I'll do real quick here.
Fun fact, the office I took is kind of cave as well. I'm down at the end of the no exit hallway. Well, we can't all work in bright, well-lit environments.
So you'll see if I place a marker on the auto map, it'll show up in the world, and you'll be able to see it through walls and such. So you'll always sort of have an idea of where you want to go.
It's helpful for trying to find rooms when you're not really sure how to get to them, and the guide isn't set up to guide you to that location. If you're like, oh, I need to get here because I'm not sure what's there, you can't necessarily tell the guide to get there, but you can always set a marker.
Yeah, or if you don't want to deploy the holo guide because you think that's going to take you too linear of a path and you want to do your own exploring while you're doing it, that's an option for you as well. Yes, you can only set one marker at a time. You can clear the markers at any time, though, once you've set them. But yeah, only one at one time. Which, here's over there again.
In Cantor's mind, Cronus Frontier is about to become the center of human civilization. Soon, ships will venture to the outer planets, the Kuiper Belt, the Oort Cloud, all the way to Alpha Centauri. We're hundreds of years from that fantasy.
I do like the attention to detail with the actual names of celestial objects and bodies, because it's a progression that actually makes sense. They're talking about belts that are in our solar system and the nearest star to us that's not our own. That's just cool that the scientists are appreciate.
I wish I knew what's happening on Titan, whatever projects they're working on now. I've been in the dark since my reassignment. Cantor blamed me when Juno Offworld got a hold of the teleport technology.
That's the same technology that they used to rescue us out of the first mission.
Yep.
It's very important technology, or we'd still be there.
Alright, so here's where the upgrade to these pickups is going to come in handy, so I'm going to actually get this overdrive for longer. Right into a lockdown.
That's okay because overdrive on reflex is just a lot of fun.
Yeah, reflex overdrive is
Ridiculous.
Yeah, ridiculous is a good word for it. So you'll notice I'm not using energy, which I was using, which is the ammo that this weapon usually takes.
Pointing out that you missed a monitor.
Did I miss a monitor?
the monitor
Oh, no.
diligent has missed one. And now we have no idea where it's never gonna find it.
Yeah. 2 rooms back. Alright, I'll backtrack. We're not gonna go through all the levels, so I'm not gonna get the achievement anyway, but since I pointed it out. Alright, where's this last guy? Is he hiding behind this pillar? He's gotta be around
There
here.
he is.
Alright, so the lockdown is over.
Freedom.
And this door
Have you
unlocks.
upgrade
Get an
point?
upgrade point. Most of the lockdown rooms have an upgrade point. Some of them will have different rewards in them. Some of them bait you to grab the upgrade point before the lockdown actually starts. So
It's always worth looking around in a lockdown room after you finish it off.
Alright, did I miss a monitor? Did I miss one up here? Was there one up here? Oh, there's one up here. Just blew that one up again. Miss one in here. Whoop. You know what? I'm not gonna go back.
It's too late now. We've come
That's-
too far.
That's Monday's job when
Monday's
I'm
job.
doing this
Find them all back again.
I have
Here's where the
found a
screenshot from the
message
initial
from
load screen on the level is.
Director of Outer Moons Development. He was on site to oversee.
Who's the one you just shot?
upgrades to the
Alright, you got it. We're safe. We're back in full
Jim, I want to make
full
it clear
flight
to
of
you
all
that no one is to communicate with Juno
monitor
Off-World.
uprising.
Any message in or out goes directly through me. You have a lot of friends back at headquarters, and you've been telling them more than you should. This ends now.
I really like
People
that
I trusted
dynamic
to run
reverb
Juno
here
in my
too, because
absence
if
have all turned
you
against me.
go under this tunnel,
They
it
want to
starts
shut us down,
reverbing a lot more
but I'm not going to let them.
than if you go down this hallway.
The arguments haven't changed. We're too far from the belt. The numbers don't add up. The P&L, the ROI. What's killing us is not a lack of profit, but a failure of imagination. I need to be able to count on you, Jim. We've had our differences, I know. But if I can't trust you, I can't trust anyone.
The message ends here.
I'll go back for that overdrive.
Josh says there's a malfunction with the
So that's where he's
operators.
talking about he
I'm on my way up
needs
to the
him.
surveyor station
He
to
needs
check it
Lynch,
out.
but like minutes ago, he was like, if you
This
don't
doesn't
do what I
keep us
say, I'm
here
gonna
any
send you
longer
to the
than
outer moon.
necessary.
You're just like, what's the dynamic here?
Might have a bit of a twisted way of
Accomplishing
punishment
his
versus
goals.
reward kind of thing going on. Alright, we got this overdrive, which is right by the reactor room.
He's talking a big game, but he's also the head honcho. Big man in charge.
So here we got some shielded fabricators.
Yep. So
Only
they're just gonna keep putting out auto ops until something is done.
And as we had mentioned in Tuesday's stream, a lot of these reactor rooms just get progressively harder and harder. Get out of here.
A little twisty business. Fire as you go, fire as you go. Oh, you forgot. Oh, you
I
got
got one off.
Got one off. So that's it for the story for this section. We wanted to give you guys a preview. We think that the voice acting is really good and the story is actually super interesting. I think that it's a really good idea to share it with everybody and pique a little bit of interest, but we understand if you couldn't join us for this segment because you were terrified of spoilers.
Yeah.
Try not to, wreck it for everybody on Discord.
Yeah, we're glad you guys feel so passionate that you'd even avoid spoilers, but yeah, so that was a preview of the story. Ideally, we may show off a few more levels, including a boss next Saturday. Although we'll also talk to you guys in Discord to see what you guys want to see, get a feel for if you do want more story elements, or if you guys want to see sort of more development things.
Do you want to play a challenge mode, or do you want to...
Do you want to play a challenge?
I don't want to play a challenge mode.
let's go to the challenge mode and check out the high scores and see what's going on here. You'll see a couple new maps where if you went on our Play Overload website, you will see a couple of debug maps and these as well, but I'm not going to show these off. Let's see.
Can we save in them? What do you mean, can you save
in
in them?
the secret levels? That's a good question. We should probably try doing that and see if it breaks the game.
I'm sure we have to have done that in the past.
I'm sure we have, right?
I think that we can, because there was a time when saving in there and then transitioning back out would break the game, right? You would save, load, and then it would break it when you left the secret area.
I think what it is it'll generate an autosave when you enter it.
Okay, that's possible.
I think that's it, and then you can't save in it.
You can save around it.
So who we got? Let's highlight some of the more impressive scores we got here. Oh, we didn't even unlock. Oh, there we go.
Oh,
we
is that
we
a-
haven't
is that a
unlocked
boss
insane,
chili at the top of there?
Insane plus here.
Look at that. Chili taking it down. Pipeline.
Wow.
295.
So we do see a lot of these, but these may also have been before we changed Pipeline. Pipeline did go through an iteration in, I think, the last drop.
That was a pretty serious iteration, too.
Yeah, we added a bunch of pillars to this since we noticed there was sort of an overall strategy of just snipe people and run away. What do we got in countdown? Who we got here? Oh, we got Pantho at 7.
So close to the top 5, and yeah, it's so far away.
Yeah, and I'm super excited when we actually launch for everybody to see what these do right now, because right now these are only early access guys here.
It's funny because we have, like, as a QA group collectively, like, thousands of hours in this game, and none of us put up scores like you guys do right now. We just don't have the dedication, the time to dedicate towards challenge mode specifically to do that. But you guys also have some skills.
Alright, who's the best combined countdown? We got Bird's Eye at the top, but not by much. Wow, that's only a 20k difference. That's a very impressive fight for the top there.
I want to give a shout out to Max. We were talking about this before the stream. There was a time, this is several weeks ago, a couple of months ago at this point too, when all of a sudden our leaderboards got taken by storm, all by Max, with 2 X's. And if anybody watched Stranger Things 2, the character in there also does the same thing to some of the other characters in the games. Max with 2 X's like shows up and just starts taking over the leaderboards. So I thought that was kind of funny and just really poignant at the time.
Oh man, Cyclonus and that. Wait, I think I've got. Haha, that's me.
Go
I've got
ahead.
the score. Let's go.
Get out of here.
Easy high score. Let's go. Alright. We haven't unlocked it on this pilot, so let's try it on Ace right now. Hey, there's me. Oh, I am signed into my Steam on this account too, so that's why it's highlighting mine. I was gonna be like, wait, this is James' computer, but
No, you signed in earlier. Alright, let's see what you can do with that.
alright, who's won here?
It's not cheating if we
I
made
don't know
it.
about that one. You know what? Let's just do countdown since there's a time limit. Even though I don't plan on lasting more than 5 minutes on Ace anyway. Hey, yeah, I didn't cheat. I achieved that score.
Legitimately.
I'm just the only one that can do it. Well, that's not true either. Anyone else in this office can do it.
As my boss used to say, it's not cheating if we make the rules.
I'm excited to see you guys.
Okay,
on
let's see
those.
how you said you enter your Ace.
I'm on Ace. Let's go.
With a Thunderbolt pressure
Alright.
starter.
I'm already gonna lose. I think on this one, save reporting is on just because it's a main build. So.
It should. Yep. So that's why we couldn't shift F7.
Oh, jeez.
That's
Alright.
Sorry, that was Mike in the background, just asking questions.
This is gonna be a quick run.
He's here in the office working on the weekend as he usually does. Or, you know, listening to the stream and watching the Cubs.
It's only because Ed's not in the office on the weekends to be yelling.
Hey, listen. We all recognize that I have problems controlling the volume yelling in my voice. That is not my. Oh, this is the most pitiful.
Hey, I'm talking
representation
about.
of Infinite I've ever seen.
It's like I've never played this before. All right, give me one more here. You know what? I don't want the Thunderbolt. I'm bad at it. That requires good aim. Let's do the Crusher and Cyclone. That's a good
Oh,
combination.
they are going to harry you.
Yeah, that's fine. Let's go with Crusher at first.
It's a solid
Alright.
start. A good strategy is to just take a little bit of damage to make sure that your ship can.
Yeah,
it's
yeah, exactly.
you
Just
know,
get a feel for
how much damage they're actually going to deal to you with a shot or two.
Okay, that's my bot in Discord. That's me. There I am. Blew myself up. We have these tanky bots right now. Or auto ops. We're role playing here on stream all day, every day.
Oh man, there goes.
You know
that's
what?
only like 25% of your life. I'm sure you're gonna be fine. That was probably a one-time event. Loki made most of it already.
Hey, there are plenty of recovery runs where I get down to like 10 health and then make it back for another 10 to 15 kills. Maybe that's not recovery.
Oh, there it goes.
No.
That's it. No recovery now.
Right,
Look, you got
GG
the
run.
low armor warning and everything.
Alright, hey, no, this is it.
This is
You
night
know
and
what?
day is what this is.
This is why I wanted Ed to play this, because
Well, this gives us an opportunity to talk about what's coming up on Tuesday.
no, our green screen. Pretend that didn't happen.
It's back.
Aha.
It's fine. Tuesday's a big day. We have Tuesday, same stream time as always, 2 p.m. Central. We're gonna bring Luke on. He's gonna answer questions that we came up with and everyone from the community came up with. So if you guys want to ask questions, head out to our Discord. There's a link to it down below. You can also head over to the forums at playoverload.com and ask your questions in there. We'll pass them on to Luke and ask him all of the questions. It's going to be a mostly question-centered stream. We think that he has some very interesting things to say and the story of the progress of this game too. So if you have career questions for him, if you have questions about the development of the game, if you want to know anything about, the backstory, or apparently there was a notorious 24-hour stream that we all missed before we were here.
Lamp.
There's some sort of lamp thing that's going on there that you guys can ask about. Do that. Please interact. Get those questions out there. We're going to pass him a list on Monday so that he knows what the heck is going on, because Tuesday is the big day. Lothar is already confirming the lamp thing is real. None of us in QA know what the heck this lamp thing is, but everyone else out there knows what it is. That video is gone, so that is just a memory.
It's lost
at
to
this
the
point.
abyss. I wonder if we could ask Twitch if they've got it anywhere, and they might not. They might. I don't know.
I doubt it. I think that
Amazon's probably
there's
got,
no way.
warehouses.
No, because there was a big legal fight about how long you can keep the
Alright.
streams up for or whatever. But anyway, I digress. We aren't involved in that. No one cares.
Yes, so be sure to visit the website, playoverload.com. We've got the links to all of our social media in the top right there. We've got, if you're on Twitch, all of the links to our social media below as well. Hit the follow button up there.
There's also a community tie-in that we're going to look to start next Tuesday. We're going to set out a challenge for the whole community. This first challenge is going to be available to everybody via the playable teaser, which is on Steam right now for free. You can pick it up. You can play those 2 levels absolutely free, see if you like the game. And the challenge is going to reward somebody with a little something out of our Discord. It's nothing big. It's just a little
Just
hat
another
tip
roll. Yeah.
that says thanks for checking us out. But until then, I am Ed, and this is Ben, and we hope to see you guys next Tuesday, 2 p.m. Central.
Central.
Take it easy, everyone.
Thanks for tuning in, guys.